Alrighty, how's everybody doing today? Happy freaking Sunday. I hope we're all enjoying our weekend. What's up, Doc? What's up, Nintendo Slave? Great to see you. Sorry I wasn't here yesterday. I took a day off to kind of try to celebrate my birthday. I had a very awesome, relaxing day off, so that was very nice. And I appreciate all the support to let me be able to do that and stuff. Thank you so very much. But here we are today on Sunday. What's up, little Tigru? On Sunday, we're going to be doing some barbecue pulled chicken today. And we're going to be using a slow cooker. The slow cooker was actually purchased by from my Amazon wish list. It was from Dark Kuno. So again, Kuno, thank you so very much. It's a very, very awesome slow cooker. What's up, Gur? How's it going, man? The slow cooker, I've test cooked this recipe several times. 3 times now, or 2 times, either way. And it has worked absolutely fantastically. I'm really happy about that. You never actually caught your intro, but those tunes make me feel warm and fuzzy. It's just, I'm just playing music from OC Remix is what I'm doing from their like little chip tunes kind of a thing. What's up, Sad David? Happy late birthday. Well, that's all good. No, nothing wrong with it being late. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes, Sad David. Appreciate it. But yeah, so we are going to be doing, like I said, barbecue pulled chicken. So I showed you the slow cooker. We'll be kind of getting to the part where we put all the stuff in the slow cooker in just a minute. As far as what's up, 4 games, happy Sunday to you as well. How's it going? As far as what we're going to be using in the barbecue pulled chicken recipe, what's up, Talkman? How's it going? We're going to be using 1 onion. This is a Vidalia onion. You could use a sweet onion or a white onion, whatever. I think a lot of recipes call for like half an onion or like one very small onion, and I just don't. I'm just going to use the whole thing here. This isn't like a. It's like more like a medium onion, if anything. But I'm just going to be using the whole thing because I don't want to have to screw around with putting that away with this. And we're going to be using half a cup of brown sugar for this as well. And that's going to nice, like, kind of just make the sauce even more gooey and stuff. Kuro with the 2-month sub. Welcome back to the Wasp Car, Kuro. Can we get a whole bunch of freaking wasps in chat for Kuro? Thank you so very much. Appreciate the support. Watch out, there's a lot of wasps. There's a lot of wasps around in this car, but you know that. Kuro has set foot in the wasp car, in fact, so thank you so very much for the support. Appreciate it. Appreciate it also very much. So we got the onion. We got brown sugar. We have you could use whatever barbecue sauce that you want, really. You could use anything here. And in this case, I'm using Sweet Baby Ray's, just their classic barbecue sauce. But it's really whatever your favorite is, because that's where a lot of the flavor is going to be coming from here. So again, whatever kind of barbecue sauce you want to use. It looks like I have a Sweet Baby Ray's some sort of advertisement deal. I don't, and I'm going to be using some garlic. I'm just going to be using the just jarred chopped garlic just to make my life a little bit easier, because I'm not going to buy a whole clove, and I'm only going to be using I'm not going to buy a whole bunch of it when I'm only going to be using like 1 clove's worth. I don't think I would be able to go through the garlic in any reasonable amount of time, but okay, so we have the garlic, we have the onion, we have brown sugar, we have barbecue sauce, and one thing that we're going to be using today, obviously this is not a labeled thing, this is, these are chipotle peppers in adobo sauce is what I have in this, and I will be using 1 of these. They are quite spicy. Essentially they're roasted jalapenos and the sauce is like really super smoky. And it was a suggestion to use in my chili that I used a while ago, and I used it with I was very, very happy with it. And I feel like anytime that I'm using something with barbecue sauce, or where I want to just have a bit of a smoky flavor and I don't mind having a little bit of spice, I'm definitely going to be interested in using these chipotle peppers in adobo sauce, because like I said, they're quite spicy. So if you're not really going to be interested in like barbecue pulled chicken that has a little bit of a kick to it, it's not like insanely spicy or anything like that, but if you don't want the spiciness, don't use this. But we're gonna use it. I used it before. I used it once with and once without, and both were perfectly fine. And I just kind of I like this little bit of spiciness to it. Definitely kind of nice for sure. And then I'm going to be using just a few whole chicken breasts. One of the really nice things about using a slow cooker for really doing any kinds of meats, and you can use any kind of meat with this, but I'm not going to have to prep anything. We're just going to be using all three of the chicken breasts. Are just going to go right into the slow cooker once I get just kind of mix everything together here, and we're just going to basically, make sure to really thoroughly cover the chicken in it, and then it just sits in the slow cooker for 5 to 6 hours, and it's really, really awesome. It's really easy to do, just because it kind of sits, and you put it on low for the slow cooker, and it's like perfect for like if you're having company over, if you're like going to a potluck or something like that, and you need to make a good bit of food for, and you don't want to do like a whole terrible lot of work. This is really awesome. It's just like prepping a few things and then getting it all mixed together and stuff like that. So let's get started here. I got my small cutting board. I'm not going to be needing my big cutting board, but I just have it sitting here as the base. And of course, underneath, one thing I want to talk about is having like a little bit of a wet paper towel. Johnny Thunder with the resub. Thought I missed my 2-month mark. No, you definitely did not. Johnny Thunder with the 2 months of 2 years. Oh, Jesus. All right. 2 years? Alright, can we get a whole bunch of wasps in chat for Johnny Thunder? Welcome back to the Wasp Card, Johnny. Thank you so very much for the support. Watch out, there's a lot of wasps, but you know that. It's alright. we have a small subtrain going. A small subtrain, absolutely. So yeah, I have a little bit of wet paper towel underneath of the cutting board. If I didn't have that, the cutting board would be very easy to slip around, but with that on it, it is nice and stable, so that's really kind of important for sure. But yeah, so basically, the only thing we're really going to need to chop up here is the chipotle pepper. Like, I'm going to be pulling one of these and chopping that, and we're going to be doing the onion. And that's it. So very, very easy, not a lot of prep to do at all, so that's one thing that I really, really like about using this thing. Alright, so actually somebody was asking me the other day on YouTube, I can't remember who it was, they were asking me about, like while I was chopping some stuff, they were asking me about like how I keep my knives so sharp, and if my knives really are very, like, if they're really, really dull, I would send them to either like a butcher or somebody who, like a knife, any kind of knife sharpening place. I don't do the knife sharpening myself, but what I do utilize is a steel. I use the steel to, I don't have my steel like ready or anything like that, but I use a steel to just kind of hone the edge. And steels don't sharpen the knives; they just kind of realign the edge of the knife so that it maintains its sharpness. So every time I use my knife, I use a steel on it, and if it gets to the point where I'm not able to get it sharp, then I would send it, or I would bring it somewhere to have it be sharpened professionally. Just because I'm not, it's not that like learning how to sharpen a knife is, I'm just not super comfortable with it for whatever reason. I'm always like kind of nervous about that I'm going to kind of screw up with the knife. Maybe someday I'll learn how to actually do it properly myself, but I would send the knife somewhere to get it sharpened if it needed to be sharpened. But otherwise, using a steel to maintain the edge is really, really important. So, sounds like the sharpening definition. No, it's definitely not, because when you're sharpening, it's what you're sharpening, what you're doing is, like if you're using a stone, you're actually grinding away the metal on it in order to get a fine edge. And once you have that edge, what's very easy for it to do is, it's like the knife, if like my fingertips are like the edge of the knife, then if like when you use it, it starts to kind of bend like a little bit here and there, like has to just kind of start to lose its edge. And when you use a steel, it kind of straightens that right back out. Is kind of like what it does. It just gets a little bit bent over to one side or whatever, and the steel kind of straightens it back out. It doesn't actually remove any of the metal from the knife. So that's the difference between sharpening and just honing the knife. Different thing. What's up, Thunder86? How's your Sunday going, man? Okay, so let's get this onion chopped up. I'm going to go ahead and chop off both ends of the onion here. I don't really have, like, it's not like a super stable surface on the onion, but I just kind of always want to make sure that you're keeping your fingertips back, and just kind of using my palm like on the cutting board, just try and hold it stable here. We'll get both ends chopped off. This is a way that I prep onions. I don't know. It's like there's some better ways to prep onions than the way that I do it. But I cut both ends off, and then I do a little score along the side here on the onion, and then that allows me to just really easily pull off the layers of the onion. Just like I actually pulled way too many off there on that one. You can kind of see I gotta pull the whole crap load of it off, but not that much. So that way. Bam, really easy. I always like to just put a little score in the side of the onion like that. Very nice. Alright, so we have the kind of root on the end of the onion here. I'm going to just cut the onion in half. And I'm going to have the root facing kind of away from where I'm going to be chopping into the onion here. And I talked about this before. When I had the other knife that I used to use, which I still use sometimes, but the other knife that I used to use, it was like much longer than this knife, and it wasn't like shaped the same way as like this chef's knife is. So I wasn't able to do this type of a cut. But what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be cutting about like 3/4 of the way through the onion here, and I'm going to be, of course, using I'm like actually using my knuckle to like guide the knife down as I'm going through here. And I'm just like having the root end on the back. That's kind of going to be the last thing that we get to. But anyway, I'm going to be, like you can kind of see, like I'm actually using my knuckle to guide the knife down, and I'm just kind of inching my hands back. And you do want to make sure that like you're not letting your thumb slip ahead of your other fingers, because that's a really good way to slice your frickin' thumb. So definitely you got to watch out for that. Don't need to score it if you're going to cut it in half. I know, but I feel like whenever I just cut it directly in half, it's just for me, Beef Swellington. Whenever I cut it in half, like I just get like the little onion, like the skin bits just kind of fly everywhere, and it kind of makes a little like. Then I gotta like wipe off. I feel like I gotta wipe off my cutting board. It's not necessary. It's just the way that I feel like I need to do it. So anyway, so we have a nice fine chop here. I'm gonna make 2 horizontal cuts. I always want to make sure that I'm like I'm angling the knife down, so that way if I do slip, it slips down and not up. You know, if I angled it up at myself, then that would be very bad, and it would be much more likely to cut myself. What's up, Cutie Pie fan? Welcome back. Good to see you. What's up, Clutch? Happy Sunday, man. Stream started a bit earlier today. Well, this is just a cooking stream, Clutch. It started at 11 a.m. whenever we do start it. Obviously, just every 3 weeks. Isn't it 11 a.m.? Yeah, it's 11:15 a.m. Eastern right now, Clutch. Yeah. So 11 a.m. Eastern is the time that we start the cook stream. Yep. What's up, Viz? How's it going, man? All right. So anyway, we're gonna cut down here, and you can see because we kind of made those. Like you can see how it just completely falls apart. Not that onions aren't prone to just falling apart anyway, because they are just made of all of this little layers. But so we do that, and then I leave. See, we have this little bit left over on the end, and then we just kind of lay that flat, and then we just kind of do a roll cut, and we kind of rotate. And I'm like leaving. You can see the root. It's kind of hard to see, but the root of the onion is fucking. The light, man, kind of makes it blinding, but the root's still there, and I'm just rotating around it and just doing all my chops, avoiding that root, and then we have that remaining, and we just throw that away. Don't need it anymore. Get that thing out of here. Oh, you're bad. You thought it was noon. Oh, yeah, no. Nope, not noon. The reason I started so early is so it allows me to have time to break down the because I have to go and reset all the entire stream setup, like over from the stream room, and bring it back over into the kitchen. Then I need to have time to break it down and then bring it back over there. Yes, that's true. I am in daylight savings time. Yeah, we do have that in Michigan, so that does kind of change things on my end. So we're going to do the same thing we did with that onion to this half of the onion. Just going to wipe my blade off, make sure we don't have any onion bits. Alright, same thing. Same thing here. So like the reason that we don't like continue to cut the end of the onion when we kind of get towards the end of it is it's just way too prone to like just falling over, and that's a really easy way to cut ourselves here. So we just have like a fine chop on the onions here, and you could I could like really take the time and like mince over this stuff really carefully, but when we're gonna be doing them in the slow cooker over the course of 5 or 6 hours on low, they're pretty much gonna lose all of their everything they have. They're just gonna completely turn into mush, which is exactly what we want. But so we want to chop them into smaller bits just to make sure that they kind of are able to incorporate into the kind of sauce that we're doing. What's up, JFKs? What did you miss? Well, I just talked about what we're making, the barbecue pulled chicken, and we just chopped an onion instantly. Bam, it's already done. Rip onion. Onion, dead. Dominated. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take this onion. I'm going to grab the slow cooker here. And I'm just going to go ahead and get this inside of there. Let me grab this real quick, pick up the cutting board. Get the slow cooker, and we'll just get all that inside. Very nice. I mean, you could like mix all of this stuff separately, then put it in the slow cooker, but that's kind of a waste. I feel like just making yourself have to do an extra dish, which I do not find necessary. So I just mix it all in the slow cooker. So that's what we're doing here. All right. So the only other thing that I gotta chop up is going to be the, like I said, this is like, there's not a whole lot of prep that goes into this. I kind of wish that I would have had some of the stuff like post cook, because obviously we're not gonna sit here and watch the cook for 5 or 6 hours. That's not gonna happen. We gotta be doing our other streaming stuff. But, so I'm going to be chopping up one of these chipotle peppers. Again, these chipotles are like roasted jalapenos, and these are chipotle peppers in adobo sauce. You can get them in like your World Foods kind of aisle, generally. So I'm going to go ahead and pull one of these bad boys out of here. See if we can get a bigger one there. Alright, cool. So we got one of those on there. This stuff is like, It's not like insanely spicy, but it does have a really, really good kick to it. Like, it's not painful to taste or anything like that. But, yeah, live feed the slow cooker. That's what we should do. That's what we should do. Do you power your cooker with the burst laser one or the heavy laser? Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're not using lasers to power. You gotta do the low and slow. You gotta use ions to power it, Gur. Don't get too crazy with lasers now. That's how you get hurt. But, so we got one of the chipotle peppers here. We're just going to mince this up as best we can. And again, this is kind of something that I feel like I enjoy using the chipotle peppers in any kind of dish that I'm like wanting a really smoky flavor, or if I'm already using barbecue sauce. I really like using these. They're really absolutely delicious. So we're just gonna kind of go over this a bunch. I'm just having my hand on the other side of the knife and just basically lifting and putting the other side of the knife down, and we're just going to go over it a whole bunch until it's all nice and minced up. Really easy cut. When you have anything that needs to be cut quite finely, this is a really good method to use. It's not something that's going to be applicable for every bit of food item, right? If you're like trying to chop a whole carrot or something like that, like this, you got to chop it down into smaller bits first, and then you can kind of go it over like this, and then you can get it really nice and finely chopped up. So that's really nice. And like I said, this is like a really intense smoky flavor, and it's quite spicy too. So if you don't want some spiciness in your barbecue sauce, then do not do it. Zoltans are like cooking with microwaves. Hot on the outside, cold on the inside. Oh God. Zoltans are like the Hot Pockets. They're like the Hot Pockets of the FTL universe. My God, it's worse than we imagined. But yeah, again, with having a wet cloth or a paper towel or whatever underneath the board, it really allows us to kind of not have to be concerned with the board moving while we're doing these kind of cuts. So that's a really important thing to kind of note. So I'm gonna pull this out of the way, and then I'm gonna bring the slow cooker over here. Bam. Alright, so we got the chipotle pepper. Get that in there. And that's it as far as chopping goes. So that's really, really nice. Definitely really awesome. Makes my life a lot easier. Just going to wipe this knife off. There we go. Done. And the only other thing, well, I've got a couple of things. Should probably just grab a spoon. Alright. So the other things that we have remaining here are, we have some already chopped up garlic. I'm not going to bother, like if you wanted to mince garlic, you could use just like one full garlic clove. But I'm just going to be using this pre-chopped garlic. If you wanted to mince it up finely, you can. But again, kind of like the onions, it's going to get all nice and incorporated. It's actually maybe a little bit more, but that's good. And we got, it's about a half a cup. That might be a little bit too much brown sugar, but with the chipotle pepper in there, definitely don't mind adding a little bit more sweetness to that at all. And this, aside from adding sweetness, it's going to just really, it's going to thicken up, and it's I don't know, it just kind of makes it a little bit more sticky, I feel like, and which makes a really nice barbecue chicken. So we got that in there. And then as far as the barbecue sauce, like we had talked about previously, you could use whatever your favorite sauce is. The few cooks that I've done with it, I've just used the Sweet Baby Ray's, just the standard, like their original sauce or whatever, and that's worked out pretty good. But whatever your favorite is, just use it because it's absolutely awesome. And we're going to use about a cup, that's like maybe like a little bit less than a cup, but about a cup for this amount of chicken. And you could probably use, this is a 40-ounce bottle. That's 2 pounds, 8 ounces. Holy crap. But if you wanted to you could just, to be honest, if you were using twice as much chicken as what I'm using three chicken breasts. If you were using 6, you could probably use the same amount of onion, just double, and the same amount of brown sugar, but I would just double the amount of sauce. And then you can also, it's not a big deal at all to, like as long as you have enough to cover your chicken, just add sauce after it's already done. You know, taste it. Absolutely. That's what you want to do. So we're going to mix all this stuff up really nice and thoroughly. Then we're going to add our chicken in, and we're going to make sure to incorporate it. Just get the chicken all covered in it. So I get a spoon here. You could mix it separately, but I don't think it's really worth making another dish. Or I don't think it's worth dirtying another dish here. Alright, so that's looking fine. Okay, so this is like kind of like my favorite part. Is just I got a few chicken breasts here. I'm gonna slice open the container. Try not to hurt myself. And what's so nice about this? I'm not gonna be prepping the chicken at all. We just take the chicken breasts and we just get them right in there. And I'm not going to take off any of the fat. I'm not going to trim off any of the bits that I would generally, typically if I was like, you know, cooking it, you know, doing my pan seared chicken or whatever, then I would absolutely trim up the chicken breast, because a lot of times you want to kind of trim out this line here, because that can kind of like it's like kind of like a tendon, and it like kind of contracts. It's like this is what connects the chicken breast to like the main part to like the tenderloin, and like if you cook it without cutting that off, sometimes it like contracts. But with this, since we're just cooking it low and slow for a really long period of time, you don't need to, because it's just going to completely annihilate any connective tissue that the chicken has. So anyway, so we gotta do some nice. Gotta make sure the chicken's all nice and covered. And we'll just get them. So I always turn them over to make sure that every bit of it's covered. And it's not like when you go to after the chicken's done cooking, it's not like it's still going to be connected, right? But all you got to do is take a couple of forks and just it's going to call it barbecue pulled chicken. You just kind of put the forks into the chicken and you just pull it apart, and it's just going to come apart really easy. Alright, so that is nice and thoroughly mixed together. The camera's autofocus, like I don't know what's going on. Alright, we got the hands washed here really quick. Alright, so as far as, let's see, as far as other meats that you can use. What's up, Kuno? Look, Kuno, it's your all-star slow cooker. It's working absolutely fantastic, man. As far as other meats to use, you can use anything here. Using chicken breasts here, you can use chicken thighs. Just don't leave the bones in. You can use pork. You can use beef. Whatever kind of barbecue meat item that you would like to use with this, it will absolutely work, because it's using. You might need some different cook times depending, but in general, when you cook it for a long period of time, it's going to get to the point where it destroys all that connective tissue, like I said, and it's just going to be able to pull apart very easily with just a couple of forks, and so you're going to get like kind of a similar texture no matter what you're doing. With chicken breasts or anything that's like kind of more lean, kind of don't want to overcook it. So if you were like, I would usually check this at 5 hours, and if it was done, if it was like thoroughly cooked, then I'd call that good. I just put it on the warm setting instead of heat, because with anything lean, like you can kind of dry it out a little bit, so don't overcook it too much. Glad to hear it works well. You need to replace your old one. Yeah, this one works absolutely fantastic. It has a lot of kind of complex settings on it that use the thermometer that it comes with. I have only used it on the low setting so far, but yeah. Okay, so as far as the slow cooker goes, it comes with a lid that, this particular model comes with a lid that like has these kind of clamps on the side. You do not use the clamps while you are cooking, just to let you know. If you were like, the clamps on the side here are exclusively used to, once you are done cooking, move it from one place to another, because that's kind of the whole thing that's kind of convenient about it is, right, you get your stuff cooked and then you can bring it to a potluck or whatever. And this makes, like I said, you could just double the amount of chicken. You can have food, like this is going, like good to make enough sandwiches, I don't know, like 12 sandwiches, and that's usually how I serve it. But yeah, you can feed a lot of people with it, like I said. So usually serve it with sandwiches, but I mean you could just have it plain on the side. It's like it's great just by itself, and I think it's even better when it's after it's cooled down and like been in the fridge for another day, and it just even more like all of the flavors continue to incorporate into it quite thoroughly. So don't lock the clamps if you for some reason thought that you wanted to do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. So yeah, so that's it for that. Like I said, it wasn't like not a very complex thing when we're using the slow cooker, but I absolutely wanted to show this because it's like it's so easy, it's so quick. Like I was kind of concerned with like the time for the actual cook stream itself because I knew it wasn't going to be very long, but I don't know, I think it's a good showcase. It's like, you just I chopped an onion and chopped the chipotle pepper, and I didn't even need to chop the chipotle pepper, you just throw it all in there, and then you set it, and then come back 5 hours later and you have dinner. So works really good. Even if you're not wanting to make, even if you're just like cooking for one or two people, or if you're just cooking for yourself, still nothing wrong with like I would just do this same exact thing and then just pack it and then reuse it. You could even freeze it afterwards if you wanted to keep it for a long time, but it doesn't really last that long either way. But all right, Johnny, I'll try and look into RimWorld for sure. Yeah, I've heard some good things about it. I haven't really had the time to check it out though. But yeah, absolutely, Kuno. And with the slow cooker, I don't know. It's like this is gonna, like I said, this is gonna cook for 5 or 6 hours, like it is, and then it'll be ready to eat. So but like the prep time is very little. I could have gotten it all done quite easily in 5 minutes. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it. And if you don't have a slow cooker, I think this recipe is probably. It's not like slow cookers are super expensive or anything like that, but I think it's definitely worth just the purchase of having the convenience of doing. Even if you only learn like 1 or 2 things with it, I think it's absolutely worth the convenience of doing it because this works out really great, and I've had a really good experience with it, so I would definitely recommend it. But either way, like I said, pretty short for a cook stream for sure. maybe we'll try and do something a little bit more in depth after a few weeks when we do our next one. But for sure, I had a good time doing it, and I hope you all had a good time doing it as well. Very easy dish, really awesome. I would highly recommend this. I'll post a tweet when the stuff is done. It'd be interesting if we had a slow cooker cam that we could just have going while we were doing our stream, so you could see it going away. But we don't have that. But all the love, Johnny, all the love. But either way, so I hope you all had a good time, because I had a fantastic time. Indeed I did. And if you didn't already know, I am here 7 days a week for my standard stream time of 2 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to come hang out, I will be here. And so, like I said, I'll be here in just at 2 p.m. Eastern, so just in about a little less than 2.5 hours. And we're going to start with a run of FTL. We are 2-0 in our current no-pause win streak, and hoping to continue. Maybe we can at least match our personal best of 11-0. We'll find out. We'll find out. No problem, Kuro. My pleasure as always. And like I said, I'll see you in a couple, a little bit more than 2 hours. And enjoy the rest of your cooking with lasers. That's right. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and I'll be back in just a little bit. So we'll see you then. Have a great one, and as always, peace.